This is Gail from South Florida Insider. I'm here to interview the band Jane Americans, and my first person will be...
I am Sandy Dean from Jane the American.
I'm Jay Reinke, Jay number 3.
And
I'm Howie Kane, Jane the American.
And there is another one.
And Marty's going to see the interview.
And Marty Sanders, a.k.a. Cooper Smith.
Well, first let me tell you
him.
that this was a dream, because I'm in the 60s. I was very much in the 60s, and we had little groups of little parties that we used to have, and Jane Americans was always playing in the background. Better than the Beatles, because that was my love. And when my son said, "Oh, would you like to interview the Jane Americans?" I'm here. So your guys are my idol, and I love it. I love the music. I don't even have a favorite song. There's so many favorite songs.
Yeah.
That this is wonderful. So I got my pictures. I got my records that were signed, and I loved it. But what are you planning on doing? Are you going to do more shows? How often do you do shows?
We do about 60 to 70 shows a year, and we're looking to extend that and do a few more. We love what we do. You know, it's really strange.
And that's obvious.
Yeah, well, we have a good time, and that's why we like doing it. It wasn't always that way. You know, now the pressure is off, and we're older, and we appreciate it more.
And you're enjoying what you're doing.
We love it. The fans, we get such a kick out of all the people that still love us, that still show up.
And the crowd's getting older and older.
Yeah, well, so are we, you know.
And I got my little baby here.
You know, and hopefully people like you have played the music for your kids.
Absolutely.
And I play it for my grandchildren, and we all try and get it done that way. And thank God for the internet and for iTunes and Amazon.com, because the young people are really discovering the older music.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, when we were coming here, because I was driving down from Wellington, coming here, and we had all the songs on. You know, he downloaded them for me, and I'm singing them all. And he goes, "I know that one. I know that one."
That's
and
what my grandson
and I
said
loved
when
it.
he went
I
on
loved
iTunes.
it. Yeah,
You know?
I loved it.
He never knew who I was.
That's right. There you go. But are you going to do the circus like at the bigger places, like the Kravitz Center or anything, or are they usually a small venues?
We do both. We do retirement communities. We do over 55s.
Theaters.
We do theaters. We play the Maltz Theater in Jupiter
Right.
a lot. Now we're playing this year, I think, there's a theater called the Icy Theater in West Palm Beach.
Right.
Yeah.
We do a lot of performing arts centers. We do a lot of
We've got a
casinos.
lot of arenas. I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to be in Pittsburgh, one of the Pittsburgh arenas.
You know, going to be
Heinz
Heinz
Hall.
Hall in Pittsburgh, which is where they film a lot of the PBS.
Where's your
specials.
home base usually?
We're in New York.
New York, right?
New
New
York,
York.
I'm in Chicago.
We're all split up. All the guys, even the band members, a lot of them are in New Jersey. Marty is upstate New York. Howie and I are Long Island, New York people.
Where in Long Island?
Long Beach.
I'm from Huntington.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. That's where I.
You know, but we all started out in Brooklyn, and we
Right.
moved down the jetties, you know.
Right,
We kept
right.
moving up the beach.
Very nice.
So it's been a long time. And now when we go to a town, we don't just go there, party all night long, wake up in the morning and fly out. We go to bed earlier. We get up, we look around, we see what the town is about.
Nice.
And we come out after the show and talk to the people, which we never did when we were playing arenas, because you don't get to do that.
Right. It makes it so much more personal.
It's very personal.
And makes
now.
you love you more.
Well, we appreciate the fact that people are still paying to come see us.
Absolutely.
You know, it was great that they bought the records. Now they're hearing this guy, and
was
it's
wonderful.
really nice.
Well, you know, one of the things that we're trying to do is really duplicate these songs in such a way that you feel like you're sitting there back in the 60s with these songs. Like, you know, you got the real guys here. How much better does it get than that? But they sound great. And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be able to sing these songs with them. And people enjoy the memories that these songs bring back when they're done the
Very
right way.
nostalgic. Yeah.
Yeah, and it brings back us. We used to have parties in Long Island in the basement of our homes, which we don't have basements here, and we had the psychedelic lights going, and there's your album,
Lava lamp.
and the lava lamp, and we're all in the dimly lit, and we're all singing the songs that you just sang tonight, and it was, the reminiscing was so wonderful. It was such a...
Well, one of the best questions we were asked is, how come you guys sound so young? Like, you know, we don't, they say we don't sound like 72-year-old guys.
Right.
It's from all the drugs.
Give
I'm
me some.
When I was a kid, I used to go to parties, you know. We had basement parties.
Right.
And we had clubhouses. If we found someone had an empty garage, we'd make a clubhouse out of it.
Right.
And we'd drive around the neighborhood and look for someone throwing out a couch. And we put the couch in there.
Yeah.
And we'd have parties. And I was always the guy that, I always had my little box of 45s. And
He was the DJ.
I was like a DJ,
Yeah.
And I always had a guitar. And
You always had a guitar 45s. He always had girls. So he always came to me.
I always thought I'd get the girls because I played the guitar, but they thought I was a
They all went
nerd.
to Howie.
There you go. It's the earring.
Just curious, because I mean, I'm only 30 years old, and basically going through, as I said on the way up here, my mom was mentioning, so many songs like resonate. I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I'm this young. No offense to an age thing, but I know so many of the songs with you guys. How does it feel to know that generation after generation, people are still clinging on to the music that was recorded years ago?
The classics.
A lot of these
Dr.
songs,
Peppers are coming and they're on their
Oh,
way.
bless you.
right. No, a lot of these songs actually inspired some of the songs that are being made today. These are the guys that listen to it, and they're making songs now with that in mind.
When we were coming up,
We were
there was
inspired.
like Patti Page, and there were these songs that were like, whoa, we couldn't relate to them. And all of a sudden, guys like us were singing on the corners, and guys our age were making records, and wow, it was an
Became
incredible
our music.
thing. We had our own thing. It belonged to us.
Started with Elvis, really. He busted
Well,
it
it
out.
started with all the groups,
And then
all
the
the
black-
doo-wop groups and
Right.
and down south, it was in New Orleans and Memphis, and just, it all happened about
blues.
the same time. And it came out of the blues. But I always think our music is 52 years old. When we were kids, the music that was 52 years old was the gay 90s. Hello, my honey. Hello. And think about that.
That's true.
That's crazy. It's so severely,
Well, we're
vastly different.
we're very
The
blessed.
difference between that kind of music and then when it comes up to the jazz and the blues and the swing and then
rock and roll.
then rock and roll. And the rock and roll has lasted
Longer
till
than
now.
That was a period of music.
Now
that
there's we're
withstood
in
the test
a
of time.
period of
Absolutely.
who knows what it is. Because the rap music, I have nothing against it, but there's nothing that you can really hang on to. They're not copyrights. They're not songs. They're good and they're entertaining, but
Are they going to be
song,
singing them in 50
no one
years?
else is going to re-record, 50 cent stuff. No one else is going to re-record those. It's like disposable music.
Interesting.
What do you think down the road? I mean, you guys are getting older, but as you said, the music really
We are? I had no idea.
But the music really is timeless. Are you guys gonna basically take the stage to the point that you're even being wheeled onto stage?
We laugh about
I'm
that.
obviously younger than these guys, and it's
Not obviously.
Well, all right. No, it's like I feel it's my mission now to carry on Jay and the Americans for as long as I possibly can, and I will do it with these guys. This is what it makes it for me, is working with these
I
guys.
try not to think about that.
Yeah.
As I get on the stage, I drop 20 years.
No, it's
And
true.
that's how I feel.
And the most amazing thing is when we had these hits originally, in the beginning, okay? We felt that we were lucky and fortunate. We never realized how we affected, history or how this stuff was gonna last so long, and that it was the soundtrack to people's lives,
Look how it affected me. If it wasn't
Yeah,
for you
he's
guys,
one of
I
the
wouldn't
guys
be
it
here.
affected. He listened to this music growing up, and that's why he's our lead singer, because he respects it and he reveres it. So when he sings the songs, he's loving singing
And
these
your
songs.
voices are so clear and crisp. I mean, anybody who might not have known these songs could sing along because they could understand the words.
What a concept.
I mean, really.
Well, that's why we do our show,
It is so-
and we talk about the fabulous songwriters.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, some people write their own material, and they're great songwriters, like Roy Orbison, the Beatles, but there are other people that just wrote songs, and they were brilliant. And we were lucky to find some of these people and record their songs. So, you know, the songs are the stars. We have to execute them well. I mean, he's a great singer. But if you don't have a great song, no matter how good you sing, you don't have the right platform to be well known. So we salute the veterans and the songwriters.
Like even when you sang Tonight.
Yes.
Now I know that. I
Right.
remember the play, and I'm listening to the song, and I said, "Oh my gosh!"
Leonard Bernstein.
And I said, "You guys did it better," which I
You know
really
that
loved it.
song.
I loved it.
We're the only rock and roll group that had Broadway show hits, major hits. Some Enchanted Evening was a major record for us out of a Broadway show.
And tonight?
You know, it
And
was
we
the
really
song.
preferred the songs. We left verses out. We left
We
whole
rework
thing.
them.
But they don't sound that way. They sound, you know, they're honest
Renditions.
vignettes of you know, the songs in the shows with huge productions.
Well, even Cara Mia was recorded in 1954.
Wow.
And
By
you know,
David Whitfield.
David Whitfield in England. It was
It was a
big
hit in America.
Really?
And the other Jay said when we were kids, he said I could sing that. So I was learning how to play the guitar. So I said, okay. I learned how to play it, but I wasn't good enough to learn
All the right chords.
all the right chords. And there was a part that went, all I want is you forevermore.
The bridge. Right, we
I didn't know
eliminated the
what
bridge.
that was. See that? So I perverted the song, and that's how we recorded.
And by the way, Cara Mia was written by Mantovani, but he was embarrassed because he's a classical guy. So rather than put his name on
He
it,
put his,
he put his brother-in-law's name on the song. So he didn't want anybody to know.
later on, he put his name on it.
Then when it became a hit, he put his name on it.
All right, guys. Well, hey, definitely appreciate it.